Hey Pisces, welcome in. I'm Abby. I'm the Oddest Oracle, and I'm here to do your tarot reading today. It's been an interesting time with you guys. And so I have some messages that came through that we'll go through. There's definitely something here about a shift or a change or a growth spurt or something, and it's like, can't go over it, can't go around it, got to go through it. But you are definitely spiritually supported at this time. And it feels like there's this disconnect between how you feel, how you're presenting, or like who you really are and how people are perceiving you. There's a lot of like weird mirroring energy that I've encountered as I've been with your energy. And so we're definitely going to explore into that a little bit deeper. And then the final one was the one that really kind of hit me the most, which was the feeling of exposure is bigger than the actual exposure. I thought this was really interesting in the context of Pisces energy or Neptunian or 12th house energy or wherever you have Pisces in your chart. Like, I do believe there's a message for you somehow. It's a really like blue, vapory, nebulous kind of feeling in a place where it's already blue, nebulous, and vapor feeling as Pisces energy kind of is by nature. And so there's, kind of Pisces always kind of has a need for boundaries, or that seems to be a pretty common lesson among Pisces, a thing that we almost, I want to say almost like an addiction, where it's like a thing that you'll kind of always have to be conscious of. I always have to work at a little bit. It's not something that will become second nature to you in the same way that it might for somebody like a Capricorn or an Aquarius, right? Boundaries are different for that different energy. I don't know. Something there feels like it's just, we're going to dig in. We're going to see what's going on. So I trust that if you're here, there's a message for you. If you're drawn in by the title or anything like that, that there's something for you. No need to get activated by a random tarot reader on YouTube. If this does not resonate with you, please go find somebody who does your story justice. For those of you that are staying, I'm going to pull some charms, and then I have a spread that I want to go through to see what's going on with this energy and this weird exposure you're having. Because it feels like I can't decide if it feels like it's cloaked or not. Like, are you feeling exposed but you're cloaked and or protected? And so this is more just a feeling you have to deal with, which the feeling is real. Like, we'll just lay that groundwork right now. The feeling is real, but I don't know if the exposure itself is actually real. And another kind of avenue that was coming forward to me was like exposure in the sense of I made a mistake or feel I did something wrong, and now I don't like how I'm being seen. So, like I said, we'll get into it. Here are the charms I've got. We've got a unicorn, because yes, you are Pisces. You are a unicorn. You are unique. Here's a dolphin, very Piscean. This is interesting. This is like a bull skeleton. So maybe some Taurus energy. And I am getting strongly like uh, in the past Taurus energy, because that is, yeah, I've never seen that charm before. Sorry about the noise. But again, maybe that's confirmation. Maybe it's Taurus energy in the past. There's a key that says faith on it, which I think is clever. Here's a cross. We have the letter W. We have a cat with a moon, which has been coming out a lot. Thank you, Gemini full moon. This card is reminding me of the Lovers card in the Kim Kranz deck that I've actually picked to use today. So that's very interesting. I'll be curious to see if that comes out. We have a bat, an elephant with a little heart on it, another big old moon we'll put right here, which look, it's like a deep blue-green color. A fox, but kind of just the vague impression of a fox. There's not a lot of detail on it. So maybe somebody is crafty, but vaguely crafty. Perhaps it's unintentional, or perhaps it's also well cloaked. These always look like siblings to me, like a little sister and a little brother or something like that. So maybe third house, sibling relationships matter. And then we have a T-Rex, because Duh, this is more past energy. I do find that interesting. All right, so we have our charms out. Let's go ahead. I'm going to tell you about this spread really quick because I want to be sure that I give credit where it's due. This is a spread that's written by Light Wands. This is an account on Instagram. I follow them. I really like the way that they do their spreads. Very creative in the questions that they pose. And I've always had excellent success both in my readings for my personal self and the personal readings that I do for others in using this person's spreads or using them for inspiration. So again, that's Light Wands, like all one word, on Instagram. This spread is called Open Heart Surgery. I like it because they put like a little blurb at the top, like an intention setting kind of for the reading. And this one says, get it all out in the open, it's good for you. And then it says, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. Like, same, Light Wands, agreed. So it's a 5-card spread. We're going to lay out all the cards and then we're going to go through them together. That's how I'm feeling guided to do this reading. So let's talk about what this spread is going to bring to light. So first, how do you feel currently from a spiritual lens? Let's get a card. Thank you. Okay, I guess I'm not laying them down face down, or not this one. So 6 of Swords, retreat, some healing. How do you feel currently from an emotional lens? I'm going to continue. I want to leave this like this. Also the number 29, also getting Aquarius energy, which that's the second time I've mentioned Aquarius. So maybe Aquarius means something for you. Thank you. Intellectually speaking, you would be able to describe your emotional state like this. And this is the 3rd card. When you first meet a new person, you wear this part of your heart on your sleeve first. And then someone could only see about your heart if they peered inside really closely. And that's really the crux of why I chose this spread. Remember, I was talking about some kind of exposure, some discrepancy between how we're feeling and how we're being perceived. So, and now we'll get the Kim Kranz deck for clarifiers, and I'm going to again lay these face down. Spirit, I need 5 cards for the spread for Pisces, please, for the Open Heart Surgery card. Oh, open heart. It is an open heart. But it's also giving like lover's energy for this very deck. Okay, so we'll slide this right here. This is emotional lens. This is intellectually speaking. This is how people see you at first, and this is how they see you once they actually look at you. And then we have this. It's your spiritual energy, your emotional energy, your intellectual energy, first impression. And I do have one more. Interesting. 5 cards, 5 more cards for Pisces Spirit, and then we'll really dig into this. It's definitely, the number 828 is coming through, maybe August 28th, or maybe that almost mirrored, which is interesting because 828, I'm seeing it divide into 8, and then the Roman numeral 2, again, maybe Gemini energy, maybe this full moon energy. Okay, let's get these last cards laid out. All right, Pisces, let's dig in. So, how do you feel currently from a spiritual lens? We're in a state of healing. Absolutely. You're slowed down. You're paused. I'm getting like okay. That's also Cancer energy. Maybe a little not feeling good, and your attention is a powerful thing. Okay, so this is, when we think about the 6 of Swords in the Rider-Waite, we've got these people on a ship and they're sailing away with their ships in the rain. Okay, so a common interpretation for that is like moving into calmer waters or doing some amount of healing mentally, balancing out. I think of it as like a reconcile, like how you reconcile accounts, like in accounting or bookkeeping, like you reconcile. That's how I feel about the 6 of Swords. So perhaps there's some actual financial, although that doesn't really ring true as I say it. It's part of the process. But retreat is also sticking out here too, with the Chariot in reverse and this some kind of an illness card, maybe even a bout of depression, perhaps. But at the end of it all, it really is like, what am I giving my attention to? And that the feeling of exposure is bigger than the exposure itself. Okay? So this is spiritually. There's like healing. I don't feel good. I'm pausing, I'm retreating, I'm pulling back. What is sorry. What is Pisces pulling back from here? What is this retreat? Can we know more about it? Thank you. Hardship. The Tower. Okay. Well, we have to, right? When we experience a tower moment of any kind, whether it's like literally our foundation buckles or some old program, operating system, software issue comes up and it's like, oh, I didn't even realize that was a thing I needed to deconstruct and disassemble. So perhaps you're going through some things. I'm really getting fourth house energy here of like old stuff, which is fine. That is part of the process. Let's move on to the next position. How you feel currently from an emotional lens. So emotionally, we have the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Swords, thought, and it is written so it shall be. Well, this is an abundance with an underlying feeling of anxiety. Don't do that to yourself, Pisces. That's some definitely overthinking energy. Look how exhausted this guy looks. He's like, ugh, I can't do it. I'm so tired, but I have all this stuff to be thankful for. Okay, and then it is written so it shall be. And this card is giving overthinking a manifestation or overthinking a prophecy, which is a weird way to think about that. But that's the kind of the sentiment of it is written so it shall be. But when I wrote this card, I actually wrote it in the sense of like magic, like speaking life into thoughts, ideas, manifestations. So emotionally, there's conflicting feelings, which again is kind of ringing true to that presentation is different than what's happening on the inside. It's like a masking energy. But some kind of like acceptance of what is also with the abundance. Okay. Intellectually speaking, so therapist nightmare, let's talk about how you're thinking your feelings. Okay, we have absence, the void. Okay, so there's a liminality here. Remember that destruction and creation happen in the same space. So this is how you would be describing this. Is I'm in the in-between. I'm in a between period. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is feeling like foggy, hazy, like mentally or intellectually, actually, I'm struggling to describe this, which the void does to people. That absence of everything, that does that to people. But you do want love. Of course you do, you're Pisces. And look at this. We had warrior, right, Pisces? No, what am I thinking? There's something about warriors. I wonder. Mountains buckle at the will of a warrior. It's interesting. There might be something that you saw before this. Like, I'm not wrong, I'm early. Interesting. Okay. When you first meet a new person, you wear this part of your heart on your sleeve. Truth. Ace of Swords. And we have that clarified by the Eight of Wands. This is very quick energy. You come off you very quick. You're young. I don't even want to say childish. And very like, I'm in tune. For everything a reason. There's a wisdom here while presenting as kind of young or maybe being underestimated or counted out, right? But this is very quick energy. Look at this. This is like quick thoughts, quick action, and for everything a reason. So there's some kind of stability here within that also. But if we look closely, let's see, if somebody were to look closely, they would see your hard work. That you don't feel independent right now. Some sorrow. Okay, Pisces. Yeah. Okay. So, spiritually, you're coming out of some stuff. And you know it, right? This isn't a surprise to you. I should not be surprising you with this reading. We should be confirming what you know to be true. Emotionally, there's conflict, there's a lot of overthinking. It's, you know, kind of struggling with that, but definitely a feeling of like gratitude I'm getting off of that 10 of Cups, this abundance, right? There's a gratitude here, but also an anxiety about it. Maybe it's the like, I have this beautiful thing and I'm constantly scared of losing it. Oh, good grief. I'm getting Benson Boone beautiful things. Don't get me started, but I honor the messages as they come. And then intellectually, it's like the things that I know are what, love and war. Everything else is kind of fluid right now, but I know love and war. I know something about that. And then the mask is, wow, she's on top of it. She's doing this and that. Da 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 da. She's young and spry, and there's a wisdom to, and young and spry, young woman, it's page energy, which doesn't mean you have to be a woman or identify as a woman or female or anything like that. It's just that's like a specific archetype of energy, right? Look, she's kind of repressed, right? Look how straight she's standing. She's covered, right? There is a cloaking here, and her face is kind of passive, which would be a mistake to think that all Pisces are passive all the time. And she's just kind of posing, right? Which is interesting to have as a mask. When inside, you're screaming, as Rose said in the Titanic. You've worked really hard for this, and you're kind of even reflecting on your hard, or people could reflect on your hard work, the reward of that hard work. They could see that you're struggling with not feeling emotionally content, or not feeling like you are, like there's a lack, right? These cups are spilled out, right? If it's in the reverse. And there's obviously, then we can confirm that with the sorrow. Mind of broken glass. This is fractal, fractured, which makes sense with the Tower. So let's talk about this exposure. And we're going to use this part of the reading because I'd like to see how we go from, oh, this quick-witted, this person, to the exposure that you feel. So Spirit, can you tell me more about the exposure that Pisces feels? Can you give me more information on this? I just looked up and saw the number 18. So there's definitely an 8 situation. Look, 8. August, Scorpio, Pluto, 8th house. Can I get some cards on this, Spirit, on this exposure? Thank you. Victory. Well, Pisces, that's kind of an exposure you want. Encouragement. You were the victor somewhere, and look at you. You're building in 79 to 80. 79 to 80. This is what they see. I need to look at these a certain way. Bear with me, Pisces. We're going to set these up here. Victory. King of Pentacles. They don't see your hard work, or the codependence you worked through, or the sorrow, or how fractured you are. Burdened. Smart, of course. Pain. Pisces. well, normally I save this for Scorpio, so maybe, again, this is the second time I've mentioned Scorpio, so maybe check their reading or investigate the scorpionic parts of your life or your chart, but there's definitely a still waters run deep. And again, this is all kind of making sense. So why are we having this reading, Spirit? I get a card for why are we having this reading? What are we? Because it looks like, again, if people looked close enough, they could see the things that they want. And it's not your fault if people don't want to look close enough. But there is this push-pull with, like, I want to be seen and I don't want to be seen. So what's with that, Spirit? What's with this push-pull for Pisces? Can you tell me more about that? A Nine of Wands, okay. Queen of Swords again. This is like, it is written so it shall be, is like, there feels like some type of commitment to misunderstand you, Pisces. This is like almost kind of obvious. Like, you could see the truth if you wanted to see it. So if they're not wanting to see it, you have to ask yourself why. And if this is a part of yourself, if you're not wanting to see these part, you have to ask yourself why. We're going to pretend like it's another person or confirm that it's another person, but you really should take this. We need to remember that everybody in our life is, to some degree or facet, a reflection of parts of ourselves, right? So I trust you and your intuition and your intelligence to work through this. I'm going to speak as if it's another person. This is a person who is committed to misunderstanding you. The truth is there if they want to see it, right? You're wearing certain things on your sleeve, yes, and that is disjointed from what is below the surface. But this is a feeling of like dignity. Like, I've, struggled, I'm healing, I'm doing this, I'm struggling with this anxiety, I'm kind of focused on dealing with some things right now, trying to remember love, trying to get my mind right, trying to be a warrior. Aries might be important for you. Or you could use the Aries energy in your chart, right? Aries comes directly after Pisces. I'm getting Pisces is the feet, but Aries is the head. So, but the truth is available to this person. It's available. It's on offer. You can't do the thinking for them, Pisces. Okay, so let's move our little things here. Let's get, well, Spirit, why doesn't this person tell me about this person seeing Pisces? I split the deck on the moon, the unknown. Why can't they see Pisces? Or why don't they want to see Pisces? Why are they committed to misunderstanding? It could be their shadow, which is very normal. It's a projection. And we're talking like Hall of Mirrors, Pisces, this, 12th house, that. It's already kind of an buoyant energy. I don't know if that's right. That's the word that's coming to mind. So maybe that means something for you. What about this person who's committed to misunderstanding Pisces? Who's committed to misunderstanding Pisces? Tension, Two of Pentacles. Okay. The Hermit. Page of Wands in reverse. They're stuck in their ways. Or they're stuck, unable to build anything in either direction. Which is weird because Hermit energy is a very spiritual energy. This person has, again, stuff on offer and is not pulling it down, whatever that means. Judgment. Okay, well, it's not going to last forever. There will be a balancing in some capacity. So maybe this feeling of exposure that you're experiencing right now is smaller than the actual exposure. Maybe this is a precursor, because I'm strongly getting this energy of like a, well, let's see. Heretical. Wow. Two of Wands. Dare. I don't like this, Pisces. If this is you doing this to yourself, knock it off. but I really strongly feel this is an external energy. Why would you be committed to misunderstanding somebody if you didn't care? But like they care about something, because but it may not be this situation. There's cycle breaker. What is judgment? This is an Empress in reverse, so this could be, this could be a mother figure or somebody in Empress energy, or somebody who occupies that archetype in your mind. Interesting way to put that. So, what's their problem? What's their problem with... Oh, okay, here we go. Is this something that Pisces earned? Did Pisces earn this? No. No, Pisces, you didn't earn this. I would tell you if you did. You did not earn this. I'm going to put that back. I'm actually going to put these back. And we're switching decks. Okay, so let's drill down on this a little bit more. What? Okay, thank you, Spirit. I'd like to ask the whole question first. All right, Spirit, can you tell me more about why, if Pisces didn't, well, that's why justice is coming in to balance out. You received something you didn't earn in the context of this reading. So what did Pisces earn? They didn't earn this, misunderstanding. What did Pisces earn? Can I get a card for that, please, Spirit? Nine of Pentacles. You earned the Nine of Pentacles. You earned independence and financial stability. Perspective, passion, and an ending. But that's not what you got. Well, does Pisces need to do anything? It seems like Spirit's got it. Like I said, you're cloaked, you're protected, but does Pisces need to do anything? Is this, what is Pisces' responsibility in this situation, Spirit? What's Pisces' responsibility? Tell me about that. King of Cups. Okay. Maintain your balance, maintain your bearing, I'm hearing. I don't think you need to be grounded. I think you just need to be able to flip the switch on certain types of emotion here. Which is not to say emotion is not bad. And emotion is not opposed to reason. Emotion informs reason. And that's what I feel like this King of Cups is saying here. Like, allow your emotion to inform your reason. You know, it's like filter that. I don't know. What would Pisces say if they were able to be unfiltered? Or give me an energy if they could be unfiltered, Spirit. This is interesting. Oh, you would be justice. That's okay. Well, that's not your job right now. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, listen, Pisces, sometimes we do get to deliver karma in our own ways. Sometimes that's something that is granted, tasked to us, depending on your perspective. That's not my business. But in this situation, that's not your job. Spirit is going to bring justice, make a judgment call, bring justice to this. And your job is to maintain your emotional bearing here. So far, I'm going to get some advice, get a couple message cards, and then we're going to wrap this up. But I don't know where you are in the timeline of this. This is like, you know, it's definitely a lot. It definitely explains this, like, kind of confusion, hazy feeling. And like, two things I know for sure. Like, there's love and there's war, and I'm a warrior. Interesting. Okay. Advice. Pisces, you are one of your spirit guides too. In a weird metaphysical kind of way. Well, it's not weird, but in a metaphysical kind of way. What else? Every ending yields a new beginning. That is the nature of the void space, Pisces. And honestly, I don't feel like I have to go into this big explanation of what the void space is. It feels like you're pretty familiar with that. Whose life are you living? Because the life that you earned was independence and perspective and passion and some kind of an ending. Whose life is Pisces living, Spirit? Can you tell me whose life is Pisces living? I'm just going to split the deck here. Pisces, you're not the manipulator that you've been made out to be. In this situation, obviously we're human and we are not just ever one thing, especially Pisces. But you're not the manipulator you've been made out to be. And I'm seeing entrapment. Tell me more about that, Spirit. Tell me more about this Magician in reverse, entrapment energy. It really feels like a narrative has been spun about you that's not true. I mean, and I know that that kind of happens all the time. The way that this has come about is interesting. So this may be something you're not, that has not been brought into your conscious awareness, like not laid out in a way or explicitly told to you. This feels nebulous. So this might be something that you're feeling intuitively, and trust your intuition, right? But tell me more about this narrative of manipulator, this entrapment. What is that? Look at that. There's a karmic contract. Look, justice again. It's all right, Pisces. It's all right. Spirit's got you, and I do mean that. Like, Spirit always has you. In this situation, though, it's like almost like this is kind of rude. It's like handle my light work. Like, this is not, you know, it's not for you. It's not even because of you. It was just, well, karmic contract in the sense that there was something that needed to be completed in this situation to trigger another event. It's giving like butterfly effect, but in the forward momentum. There were certain things that needed to happen in order for this justice to be almost like breaking seals is kind of the feeling I'm getting. And those seals were broken. Break. Good for you. I think you needed to be out of this. It didn't do you justice, right? This was your justice. So what next? Is there anything else we need to get out for Pisces? Is there anything else, Spirit? Is there anything else that comes next? I mean, we got like justice, judgment, world, absence, void. Is there anything else? Anything else for Pisces here? Maybe not. Maybe that's all we need to say. Hearing that's all she wrote. All right, I'm going to give it one more shuffle. All right. I'm going to leave it there, Pisces. I appreciate you sharing your energy with me. I wish you the best of luck with this situation because it really feels like you got done dirty. The good news is that nothing lasts forever, and it's not supposed to. Special thanks to Light Ones who made the spread that we started out using, and also don't hold them accountable for my mess because it's who I am as a person. Yeah, so I'll see you next time. I appreciate you being here, and audiobooks are real books. So do with that what you will. Bye.